Netflix's Squid Game does not pull its punches when it comes to its shocking plot twists, heartbreaking betrayals, and deaths. Even I, a lover of graphic shows, could not have predicted these wild moments. But some of these moments had me picking my jaw up off the floor and being absolutely certain that they would end in, "and it was all a dream." Here are the most surprising things to happen in Squid Game, which will probably take me a few more years to recover from. Before the start of the video, make sure you leave a like, and if you want to see more content, subscribe to Bobuya channel. Let's get started. 1. The number of people who died in red light, green light. Since I saw the trailer for the show before I watched it, I was not surprised by red light, green light, or the fact that people would be killed during the games. I was, however, very alarmed by the number of people who were killed. This was the first game, so I did not expect them to just go off and shoot literally everyone. How would they have enough people to keep playing if like 80% of the players died right away? Also, I can't be the only one who thought it looked like way less than 201 people made it across the finish line. 2. That the others who left the game were allowed to stay home and not forced to come back. At the beginning of episode 2, the players were able to take a vote and choose whether or not to continue playing the games. They ended up voting to leave, which is very surprising now that we know what we know about Il-nam. Did he know that people would end up coming back to play, or did he just not care whether the games went on? A majority of the players changed their mind by the end of the episode and were on their way back to the games, but those who decided to stay home were apparently left to their own devices. I expected that everyone would have to come back and play if the majority decided to do so, not that some people would still be able to stay home. 3. Sang-woo's betrayal of Ji-hun during the HONEYCOMB game. I think what shocks me the most about this scene is that Ji-hun knows that Sang-woo is a total backstabbing liar, and he just files that little piece of information away to never use again. Like, he forgives Sang-woo immediately and tells nobody that he can't be trusted. I feel like if Ji-hun spoke up, a lot of Sang-woo's future betrayals would not have happened, because they would have known not to trust him. 4. Ji-hun's team winning tug-of-war. Don't get me wrong, I knew in theory they had to somehow win, because the team was made up of literally every single protagonist, so they couldn't just kill them all off in one fell swoop. But I expected some type of loophole for them to squeeze through to get there. I truly did not think they would be able to beat the other team, even with an innovative strategy. 5. JUN-HO discovering the games go back to at least 1988. No part of me expected that these games were an annual thing, which I guess is kind of stupid because they were clearly very well organized. When JUN-HO found the binders that showed all of the past games, I was genuinely thrown. 6. And while we're on the topic, the fact that JUN-HO lasted for so long as a staff member without people actually realizing he was an outsider was wild. Every single one of his scenes, I was on the edge of my seat expecting his identity to be discovered. I understand that they weren't allowed to talk and wore masks the whole time, but he didn't know what to do for anything. I'm sure they had implicit rules that everyone else just followed and he was clearly very confused by. What if he had to go to the bathroom? What if his staff rotation changed and he followed the wrong people to an area he wasn't supposed to be working at? Plus, they showed that there were cameras in his bedroom, so in theory, his brother should have already known he was there. 7. The marble game twist. When I found out that the marble game partners were playing against each other and not together, my stomach dropped to my feet. I did not see that twist coming, and I thought the entire time that it was somehow a test and that every one of the protagonists would make it out anyway. 8. And while we're discussing the marble game that actually ripped my life source from my body, Ji-hun using Il-nam's dementia against him while Il-nam secretly knew he was being manipulated the whole time shook me. Okay, yes, hindsight is 20/20. But let's all go back to the feeling we got the moment when Il-nam revealed that he knew what Ji-hun was doing and was just playing along. Obviously, we know that he was never really in danger of getting shot. But Ji-hun's manipulation honestly broke my heart, and it surprised me that he would go that far, and that Il-nam would play along. It really shows how far anyone will go, even those with a strong sense of justice. 9. And Ali's death in particular. Is it wrong for me to think Sang-woo is the worst character on the whole show? It's still a little too soon for me to get into this scene, to be honest, because whenever I think about it, I'm filled with a burning hot rage. I did not believe they would do this to Ali until I heard the gun go off, and even then I was so sure they would somehow bring him back to life. While I was able to predict Ji-young's death, because it felt like they introduced her character strictly so they could kill her off and you would feel a bit emotional about it, I did not expect them to do the same to Ali. I'm always so shocked when evil people win because it feels so wrong. 10. The presence of the Westerner VIPs who suggested this game was played all over the world. Similar to when Jun-Ho found out that the games had been going on for at least a few decades, I was not expecting the games to also be something held around the world. When one of the VIPs mentioned that South Korea was doing a great job at hosting the games that year in comparison to other places, I did not see it coming. I wonder what games are played in the different countries, and why they needed to host them in more than one place. 11. The number of people who died on the glass bridge. I was really alarmed when the glass bridge challenge was presented. I know it was the second to last game, but up until that point I was kind of under the impression that a few people could win the games and split the prize. Once all but 3 of the contestants died, I realized that actually only one person would probably come out alive of the 456 players. 12. And the fact that the Western VIPs encouraged them to kill more people during the Glass Bridge Challenge was horrific, to say the least. Why were they upset that the glass worker had found the hack? Didn't that make it more interesting than just watching people randomly fall to their deaths? At least now it was more of a game and less of just chance. Wouldn't it be boring if everyone was dead before the final games? There were 16 people and 18 steps on the bridge, so in theory, everyone could just die and there wouldn't be anyone left to play the final game. In comparison to the other games, the Glass Bridge game surprised me the most because it seemed the least like an actual game. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, subscribe to Bobuya channel, and turn on post notifications to see more of our future videos. With that said, keep enjoying our videos, and I'll see you in the next video.